to Tuesday's Loose Women competition. Now, a new study by think tank PPR has revealed that when it comes to looking for husband material, the once popular marrying up or getting hitched to someone of a higher class than yourself is on the way out. The study shows that getting wed within your social class is the current trend, and there's also been a small rise in marrying down to someone of a lower class status than yourself. However, Professor of Psychology and Health, Kerry Cooper, has said that it's not to say that marriage won't work between different class backgrounds, but there's an underlying feeling that there might be more conflicts. So what do you think? Do you think that marrying outside your social class, do you think it's... if it's doomed, do you think it's doomed?
Doomed? Well, doomed.
We're all doomed.
We're all doomed. Well, I have to marry up. Because everyone's taller than me. It'd be a bit tricky to marry down. Unless it was Lester Piggott or someone. But I think it's an interesting idea because, you know, I've talked on the show about my mum being quite an aspirational woman and wanting me to make, you know, a good life for myself. And so she always wanted me to marry up, preferably somebody royal, which is a bit tricky when you grow up on a council estate at the Elephant and Castle. But I did. It's really weird because going to stage school and then you go into show business and you get to mix in different circles and you get exposed to different classes and you get a bit of a buzz out of fitting in everywhere you go. Yeah. And I got a real sort of sense of achievement out of that. But the older I've got, the more I've gone back, the more comfortable I am. Right. Like, you know, when my nan was alive, I would think my idea of heaven would be to go around the pub on a Sunday lunchtime and have a sing, you know, play the piano and be surrounded by all my people that I grew up with. And I wish I knew this earlier because I spent most of my life trying to get away from it. Right. But in actual fact, there's nothing wrong with it. It was the best thing ever and I should have realised that a lot earlier on. I've never gone out with anyone for money or anything like that. Yeah. It's usually been, if I've picked a boyfriend for a calculated reason, it's usually been to enable me to pursue my career, someone that would allow me to be myself. But I think you're on a hide into nothing if you look for a man to give you a certain lifestyle. You'll end up miserable, I think. Yeah.
Well, yeah, see, the thing with me is I turned down Prince William. He was gutted. He was absolutely gutted.
Because he was seeing me.
He was... Well, too time. No, do you know what? People should just marry for love, not for money, not for anything else other than just the fact that you know, you can marry somebody with loads of money, you can marry somebody with no money. It doesn't matter as long as you're balanced and you're with that person and they make you feel good, you make them feel good, you have your ups and your downs and you support each other. That's what it's about. It's not about whether they're higher class or lower class than you or, you know...
A lot of people do, though, don't they, marry for money?
Yeah. Saying that, you know, when money's gone, so was love. Let's be honest. When you're skint, my God, love goes out the window. Does it? Yeah.
It is true. Yeah. If you can rally together while times are really, really hard, then you know you've got something absolutely solid. And that's whether you're starting out with nothing or you've lost it all and you have to start again. And that gets right back to the basics again, doesn't it? Shows whether you love each other.
Keep it in perspective, though, because some of the worst things that can happen to you in your life aren't about being skint. I mean, it's an old saying, but if you haven't got your health, then, you know, that's much more important than money.
It must have been quite difficult for you, though, because, I mean, the press must have had a field day with you, did they?
Well, I think they did. I mean, they sort of, you know, there were a few fibs, like they do tell, you know. Apparently I was married to a goat herder, but...
Well, yeah. Not wrong with that.
No. Goat's milk, very nice, but not in my household. Not in my household. The thing is, you know...
High on a hill?
High on a hill? No, he wasn't high on anything, to be honest. Only me.
Yes.
No, do you know what? I mean, you just have to, at the end of the day, you just have to go with the flow. I mean, culturally, over there, you know, again, there's no sort of thing about whether you've got loads of money or haven't. You know, it's just... It's for love,
very family-orientated.
It's very family, it's very kind of... You know, nobody worries about our age difference, nobody worries about anything over there because they know that it's all about our hearts and what we believe and our faith and everything like that. And it's like, that's all that matters.
Well, remind us again where he's from. He's from Morocco, isn't he?
How old is he again?
Andrew! She's trying to nick it. She's a nick at that one.
What does he do, then? He's not a goat herder. What does he do?
He does all sorts of things.
Does he?
No, he doesn't.
Man of many talents.
He's a man of many talents, no, but him and his family have a sort of a business in jewellery and things like that. So, you know... So
a proper job.
Well, kind of, you know. A bit on the ocky on the side, you know what I mean? A bit like that.
I must admit, I don't think you can buy class. I just don't think. I think you're born with it, whether you're working class, middle class, you know. And I think I have met some very, very wealthy people who have been the most rude, crass, obnoxious people in my entire life, and they know who they are. And but saying that, there's that in working class as well. So, I mean, I think it's all about... But saying that, I did marry out of my class, and I felt very uncomfortable, because what you have to remember is when you do get married, you have to take into consideration that you marry the family as well. And no matter what, I was a fish out of water in that. He more adapted to my family, but I found it very difficult to adapt to that level.
OK.
You know, but I always took... there's always a saying that I've always lived by. I didn't ever want to marry the doctor. I wanted to be the doctor.
Yeah.
So, and I think that's it. If you're independent...
Now you're Dr. Love.
Dr. Love. Oh. But if you're independent...
You should do the pie test. You should get them to name every single pie. If they can name pies the way you can, they're in.
Hey, but... that's true. Yeah. That's right.
OK, it is time to put the pause button on proceedings, but we'll be back soon with today's very special guests. They are Matt Lucas and Amy Childs.
Hello.
Back soon. We'll be giving plenty of love to the always adorable Matt Lucas! Right back at you. But first, the thrones of celebrity glamour-pusses such as Katie Price and Jodie Marsh seemed unshakable for a long time. That was until our first guest exploded onto the celebrity scene, successfully toppling on them from their pedestals. In the public affection stakes, the reality star, entrepreneur, model and all-round nice girl has now turned her hand to helping us get fit. Here to tell us more, please welcome Amy Childs. You look like a dolly.
It's so lovely to be back. It's nice to have you back.
I don't want to sit in this seat anymore.
And how are you? Are you well?
I'm very well, thank you. I'm very busy. You know, the DVD's doing really well, come out today, so... Yeah.
So does this mean that we're going to look like you? If we do a bit of that, will we look like you?
It's split in 30 days. Literally, we do 100 repetitions. We break it down, 40, 30, 20, 10. Literally lunges, press-ups...
So a bit in 2010, a bit in 2011...
No, a bit in now, a bit in now. What we do 30s, we do like 40 lunges, have a 45-second break, then 30, so you're like breaking it down.
Right.
And for me, if someone said to you, you've got to do 100 repetitions, you'd go, I can't do it.
No, it's a lot, isn't it?
But it's when you break it down, so much better. And literally, when I first did it, I was like, I can't do it. I trained so much, and after that...
Do you see that you're struggling on the DVD? Because it can be really annoying sometimes when you're watching it and the person's all immaculate. Do you want to see a bit of sweat?
Literally, I am really struggling in it. I'm literally doing it. And that's what I wanted to get across to people, that I'm struggling doing it. I'm not like, oh my God, this is amazing, I can do this. It's not like that. I am really struggling.
How old are you?
21.
So you're 21, so people think you've got bags of energy anyway, so it's not going to be as much of a struggle for you as, say, for me, or, you know.
Yeah, but no, if I can do it, anyone can do it. I've said this to Mum, you know, Mum's like, oh, I can't work out. I said, Mum, if you do it, you know you're smash
Have you always been into fitness, Amy?
I have, yeah. I have. Literally, before I did the AStVSz0pU, I used to work at a gym, and I used to work at a beautician's, and next door was actually the gym. So it was like, I finished work, it was like, I've got to go to the gym. So I've always actually been into my fitness. So
I read something about, you said, I've got rid of my bingo wings. I don't think you've ever seen a bingo wing in your life, have you?
I had a little bit, but no, literally, I worked about 2 weeks on my arms for the fitness, and literally my arms, literally in 2 weeks, I noticed a difference straight away.
Oh.
Look, you could do it. We'll do it together.
I'll tell you what, you've worn me out just talking about it. I mean, I'm not being... Do you know what? You're absolutely right. I think if you're into that kind of thing, then that's great. I've got, you know, I mean, I would look at it, I'd have a go for a week, and then I'd prop my table up underneath with it. Not purely, only because my table's wobbly, and then I have to get it out again when I've put on a few more pounds. That's what I do with it.
Do you know, it's really enjoyable as well. Like, I didn't want it to be, like, really... It is really hard. It is very difficult, and it does... The workouts do get harder, But I do enjoy it. I have a bit of banter
well.
in there. Drew, my fitness with me, he literally is brilliant, and we do it together, and we work really well as a team.
Good.
And yeah, but
what would you think? So we were talking earlier about our boyfriends and husbands getting a little bit chub, and would we say anything? What would you, if you were going out with someone and they started to get a bit chubby, what would you mind? Or...
I would tell him straight away.
Would you?
Yeah, definitely.
What would you say?
Do you know what though? I said this before. I was talking to Matt. I said, like, you know, you want to look like really, like I would always try and look perfect, you know. So my boyfriend should look perfect as well.
Right.
Because I'm really, as I said, I'm really into my fitness. Yeah, but that's me.
So you can fancy
type.
someone that was who's a little bit on the chub side.
No, I go for personality. I do go for personality. I go for banter. But I would tell them if they started getting a bit comfortable with me.
Bit polky.
Polky. I don't want to say anything too bad.
Use the words around me, Amy.
No, you are lovely, honey. You are lovely.
I admire, seriously, I admire, actually, I do admire her. Do you know what I mean? You've got to put your hands together. She's very clever at what she's doing and what she's done. And I'll give you that. Because I go Thurrock quite a lot, because I know that's on Essex.
Lakeside?
I do, because I'm across the bridge. I'm away. Anyway, so I go across the Thurrock and I see all these people, and I just think to myself, there is a kind of type, isn't there? And the people, I think from, not type, but they sort of dress up and they're making themselves immaculate now, and I sort of see that. And do you think there's a pressure to kind of like keep at that standard and marry like that? And do you think that programmes like Towie have kind of done that a little bit as well?
I think everyone's been glamorous anyway, like always. All the girls in Towie, you know, you've got Mark Wright, we've always been very glamorous, you know, Joey Essex, we've always been.
As well,
you know, I've always been like it anyway, so I don't, you know...
No, well,
do you think it's quite a useful... Because you look amazing, there's no question about that. You just look absolutely stunning. And you smell gorgeous as well.
I've always been like this, you know, people say, you know, you go on Towie and your life changes, but I've always been like this anyway, like I was a beautician before.
Do you have aspirations, though? We were talking as well about marrying someone in a different social class. Is that something you're interested in, or do you kind of stick to your own and...
No, I've literally, you know, I've been out with guys, not just in the public eye, they've been like, you know, just normal, you know, they've had a normal job. You know, my ex-boyfriend, my ex-boyfriend Joe, he literally was a stockbroker, I was in doing Towie, Big Brother. We had such different lives, but...
Stockbroker, is that a normal job?
No, my dad, you've got to think that, my dad is a market trader. My dad's a market trader. My dad's a market trader, my mum's a hairdresser, so...
No, it's
I mean,
brilliant.
as Cheryl said, hats off to you, girl, because you've taken that ball and you've run with it.
And obviously, you've as Jane was saying, you know, you've left Towie, you had your own series, you got your salon, and obviously your clothing range and everything else. Is it going as you expected, or is it absolutely taken off?
Andrew, I can't believe it. I'm shocked that it's done so well. And you know, my website is, you know, it crashed a little while ago, and you know, the salon, I get queues of girls getting the salon buying all my stuff, and I pinch myself, you know, me and my family, we're still really normal people, and I pinch myself every day to think that I can't believe this happened to me. A normal girl from Essex, you know, doing well for themselves. And
you're hard working. I mean, you don't stop.
I don't stop. I've just come back from Dubai. I've just shot my 2013 calendar, and like this week, I'm literally in meetings.
Yeah, you're going to do that next year.
I'm doing that. Can you give me some advice tips? Can you make some clothes a bit bigger than I can put my arm in?
No, don't be silly. Look, do the DVD.
Stick the two together.
We'll do the DVD and look, we'll be
DVD
perfect.
is brilliant, seriously, well done.
Look, if I can do it, that's what I say, if I can do it, anyone can do it.
I'll give it a whirl.
Give it a whirl.
We'll do it together, love.
Have you got any nice personal trainers on there?
Yeah.
Wacky, I'll have a go.
Oh, you're married. Pack it in.
All right.
Amy, it's lovely as ever.
Thank you very much for having me.
Amy Charlton.